Asks, he wants some clarity on the Ashʿarīs and the Māturīdīs. Are they a part of Sunnah? And if not, then are they from those who will be in the hellfire, meaning that they're no longer Muslims? Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he talks about the Māturīdīs and the Ashʿarīs in many different places, and while he shows that a lot of their madhab is against Sunnah and doesn't represent Sunnah, he also says in some parts, if we were to see the Ashʿarīs and the Māturīdīs in the lands of the Shīʿah, then we would say that they are representing Sunnah in the lands of Shīʿah. So in a general sense, you could say that he sees that they are in the general sense of Sunnah wal Jamāʿ, but in many areas they do not represent Sunnah wal Jamāʿ in reality. And this is an important distinction to make, so that someone doesn't automatically think just because somebody has this, that they're automatically at the same level as like the Shīʿah and whatnot, or the Muʿtazilah. They're closer, but also they are a mix of a lot of things. And as Shaykh al-Albani, he mentions that where they're with us, they're a part of Sunnah wal Jamāʿ, and where they're against us, they're not. So when it comes to some of these issues, you'd say by a case-by-case basis, you'd say they're with us on some of these issues. And of course, like in a lot of major issues, do they accept the Qur'an and Sunnah in general? Would they say yes? Yes. All right, do they accept the ijmāʿ and the consensus of the Ummah as a evidence? Yes. Do they sometimes go against that ijmāʿ? Yes, and this is anything they go against that ijmāʿ because of the way that they will use their Ahl al-Kalam. In this case, they do not represent Ahl Sunnah, and they're outside of Ahl Sunnah in these matters. As for the second part of the question, if they are outside of Ahl Sunnah wal Jamāʿ, then does this mean that they are from the people of the hellfire, meaning that they are disbelievers? First off, with the hadith that talks about that the Ummah will divide into 73 sects and only one of them will be saved. This hadith is actually evidence to show that they are Muslims, because the Prophet ﷺ, he referred to them as ummati. And while some mentioned, is this ummat al-da'wah or is this ummat al-ijabah, which is the ummat al-da'wah is the ummah that he has been sent out to, or is it the ummah that received the message? And the majority of scholars, they say that this is the ummat al-ijabah, the ones that received the message. So this is a proof that they are actually still Muslims. And just as with any kaba'ir, there are certain punishments that are talked about. Whoever does such and such, they will have this. They will never smell the smell of or the fragrance of Jannah, or whoever kills themselves, then they will be killing themselves in the hellfire over and over and over again. And of course, the ulama, when they look at these nusus al-wa'id, when they look at these nusus, are like these texts that have grievous punishments and threats alongside of them, they always take the understanding that ultimately, no matter what, if a person dies as a Muslim, then these texts are something that they can apply to him, and if Allah wishes to forgive him, then Allah can forgive whoever He wishes. And even if He did put them into the hellfire, it would be a purifying hellfire, that when they were finished with paying the time, that they would be taken out and entered into Jannah. Because every single Muslim, anyone that has even the grain of a mustard seed of īmān in their heart, they will be taken out of the hellfire and placed into Jannah. And this is mutawatir, like this meaning of this hadith that talks about this. It's in Sahih al-Muslim and Bukhari, and many different hadith talk about that Allah will take out from the hellfire every single person that has even the smallest amount of īmān in their hearts, and then they will be placed into Jannah. These people, even if we were to say that they are of the groups that are of the hellfire, we do not say that they are of the groups of the people that are eternally in the hellfire. And many of the shurah, or the explanators of the hadith that talk about this hadith that the Ummah will break into these different ones, they mention that the ones who are these different groups? And a lot of them, they'll mention the Shīʿah is one of these groups. After they say that this is the Dawat al-Ijaba, they said the Shīʿah is one of these groups, the Khawarij are another one of these groups, or like the roots of these different groups that come from them. And then the Murji'ah are the roots of these different groups. All of these, yes, they're Ahlul Bid'ah, and all of them are still Muslims. And so this is important. Even if there are deviants within this deviance that someone does after the evidence has been made clear to them, and then they reject that evidence, yes, they're held liable to punishment. And if Allah wishes, He punishes them. And if Allah has mercy on them, He has mercy on them. And all of this falls under Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bih, that Allah does not forgive for someone to do shirk with Him, but and this is shirk akbar, وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ, and that He forgives what is other than that for whoever He wishes. And so this all of them are tahta al-mashi'ah, and that they're all under the will of Allah. If Allah wishes, He punishes them, or if Allah wishes, then He forgives them. And this is assuming, of course, that the hujjah has been established upon them, or that the evidence has been given to them first and foremost, because Allah does not punish anyone until the message has been received by them. So in closing, if we were to say that the Ashʿarīs and the Māturīdīs are Ahl Sunnah, just like this is not correct, because it holds a lot of ambiguity, and there are a lot of things that they do not represent Ahl Sunnah in certain matters. And because of this, they do fall into the Murji'ah in a lot of issues. When you talk about what is the reality of īmān, they do fall into the category of the Murji'ah in this aspect. And they hold other aspects of the deviance as well, where they will put their dalil, or like their aqli evidences, their philosophical evidences against the Qur'an and Sunnah. That is the apparent meaning of the Qur'an and Sunnah, and they fall into a massive ta'wil. And this is deviance without a doubt, and they do not represent Ahl Sunnah wal Jamāʿ. But if they were to be in the middle of a bunch of Shīʿah, and in general we would say, yes, they are Ahl Sunnah wal Jamāʿ to the rest of them. They represent Ahl Sunnah wal Jamāʿ to them. And so this is the understanding that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah had. And of course, they're not kuffar. He never did takfir of them as a whole. And even the people that held deviant beliefs, like such as Allah is not above His throne and whatnot, He does not do takfir on these people. And yes, these are deviant beliefs. Yes, they are subject to that warning and that severe threat. But this does not mean that they are no longer Muslims. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.